What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for MicroStrategy Incorporated with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So that last MicroStrategy video was my most viewed, most liked, and most commented video. So thank you guys very much for the support. Helps out the channel, and hope you guys learned something as well. So let's take a look at MicroStrategy today. Looks like it's pumping up higher. It's a good recovery so far, and we'll see if this is going to be sustainable or not. So yesterday, price went all the way down to the 372 level. It recovered a little bit, and today we're seeing a resumption of that recovery. So looks pretty good so far. My expectation was for the downside, but again, just because that's what I want to see happen or what I expect to happen, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. MicroStrategy is very bullish. It's a very strong market towards the upside, and you can easily get wiped out if you try to pick a top or try to short a top, right? I'm not saying that 550 was a zone that was not a good time to sell, if you had a position, because definitely there was a very strong reaction off that level, and there was a lot of sellers there. But that doesn't mean it's going to be the top, right? We can always still continue higher in the short term. Eventually, we're going to see a bigger pullback like what we had over here, like a decent sized consolidation or even a bigger pullback at higher levels, or even right now. But eventually, we'll see something like that take place. But in the near term, MicroStrategy is still holding on to this bullish trend line. I think I might have forgotten to draw this trend line, or it wasn't there previously, but it is at a second angle of attack, right? So this was kind of like you could say the channel is the first angle. So let's go and remove the channel, right? Let's just draw trend lines just to make it simplified. So we have this trend line right here. So that's the first angle of attack by the bulls. They're moving at this 45-degree angle towards the upside, right? This is the second angle of attack by the bulls. It's like about a maybe 70-degree angle. And now this is the third attack by the bulls, which is even steeper. So it's getting steeper and steeper, eventually leading to a parabolic blow off top and then a decent sized crash. But eventually you'll probably still recover and move up higher. But that's what's happening as of right now. It's getting steeper and steeper, and this trend line or the channel highs might not hold, especially if we continue to see this momentum move up higher. So let's take a look at intraday. So here's a look at intraday. You can see that price did reach the measure move target that I had. This is all one large drop right here. This was the second large drop. Market generally moves in twos. Right when it reached that measure move target, right around that 380 level, that's where it found support at. It definitely went a little bit lower, but right around that area is where price found support and then reversed higher. And you can see that it was an exhaustion of the short-term downtrend. So price was looking ready to form kind of a V bottom reversal, right? If price moves down really quickly, and it starts going back up, it can move up really quickly. There's a lot of symmetry in the market. And again, this is the trend line that I mentioned. We're back above the trend line, so this was like a fake breakout. It looks like price is still trying to resume the trend higher. So as right now, I think it definitely looks like we probably won't get a pullback as expected unless we can break this trend line. We can definitely still get a pullback. Today is not all peaches and cream. It's not all puppies and kittens. We can still see another drop, but the way it's looking, it looks like it's favoring the short term to the upside again, maybe retesting the 550 level again, and possibly even breaking out. As long as we're still above this trend line right here, then we're going to be pushing up higher. So that's what the chart is telling me. That's what you have to go with. A lot of people say technical analysis doesn't work. That's because it's not. You can't just draw your lines and just leave them, right? You always have to adjust your lines. You always have to change with the market. The market is dynamic, especially in the short term, right? You can leave a long-term pattern in play, like this channel I had. It was definitely in play for quite a long time, but now it looks like we possibly could be breaking out of it, maybe next week. And then you have to draw another channel, right? So you have to keep on adjusting your lines, your drawings. You have to be dynamic. You can't have a fixed mindset saying like, oh, this is the top right here, and we're just going to pull back, right? I still believe we can do that, but what I'm saying is that you can't ignore the short-term bullish momentum. Basically, the train is still moving, right? It's still moving to the upside. Most of the drop has already been recovered, and we could be still setting up for higher prices, right? So overall, I've been pretty bullish long term for MicroStrategy. I still think we're going to continue much higher, but short term, it was looking like we were going to see some sort of pullback. We definitely got the rejection, but there was no follow through, right? You have to see follow through. So that's a bad sign right there by the bears. They're only able to dump down basically in one day, and today we recovered half the drop, and it looks like we're not even done yet. We can still push up higher. So let's see what happens. Today, definitely a good sign for the bulls. Most likely, if price continues to stay above this trend line, we're going to see higher prices, and I'll give you guys an update once we start breaking down, or if we still maintain that angle of attack. Looking at the weekly chart, several green weeks in a row, so very bullish, basically dating back to September. And again, it's continuing to move up higher and higher. It needs to be bullish, right? If it breaks its prior all-time high, which it did at that 324 level, it needs to continue to gap up through that level. You don't want to see price break a level and then immediately fail, right? It would be a fail breakout. You want to see price break a level and just continue to go, right? Like either it pulls back at higher prices or it pulls back and retests it for support and resumes the trend. Either way, you want to see a strong move through a level, right? So that's a bullish sign. Just like this prior level right here, you saw a strong move through it and price never came back to it at that 180 level. So that's how I'm looking at MicroStrategy in the daily weekly charts. Basically, long-term momentum is up, short-term momentum is still up, and that 1 day of drop is probably not enough to lead to a significant pullback. We'll have to wait and see though, right? It's definitely on the table. It's definitely still on the table to see a pullback, but looking at today, it's getting less and less likely. What is my long-term prediction for MicroStrategy? This might shock you guys, but it's a very high price target. So this is the measure move previously right here. This is all one leg right here. This is the second leg. This target was met. So that tells me that these two legs can be combined to form one larger leg now. And then if you clone the arrow, which is this size right here, let me go ahead and do another one and move it down to the bottom of that correction. That'll predict where the next impulse can lead to, which is at the $4,000 level. So that's about a 9 to 10x gain from where we currently are at. Is that impossible? No, it's not. Actually, it's pretty possible, especially for this company, 100 billion market cap. It can get to 1 trillion next year in this Bitcoin bull market, right? If Bitcoin is going to be going up to low six figures, then I mean MicroStrategy can also go up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 x from there. So definitely not out of the realm of possibilities. Technically, it is possible to see that $4,000 target being reached this cycle. So again, I'm very bullish long term. Short term, it was looking like we're gonna see for the downside, but after the lackluster follow through by the bears, you have to go with what you see on the chart, not what you want to see, right? You have to be looking at both sides of the story. One side of the story is bearish. Or you can say there's three sides, right? There's a bullish side, there's a bearish side, and there's a neutral side. So in this case, it was looking bearish. Nice strong rejection off the channel highs, overextension that could lead to fall through. That could lead to for the downside. But after today, recovery and maintaining this bullish trend line, it tells me that okay, well, maybe the bulls are not done buying yet, right? The bulls still look pretty strong, and we could see some follow through, especially with Bitcoin ready to break out of 100K. It's like knocking out the door. It's probably gonna hit 100K and go a little bit higher before seeing some sort of pullback or consolidation as well. So MicroStrategy looks pretty bullish in the long term. Short term, it is looking still bullish, but again, there's probably still there's definitely always that possibility to see that drop, but it just becomes less likely looking at today's price action. So that's how I'm looking at MicroStrategy and daily weekly charts. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. And most likely, I'll see you guys on Monday. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.